Good evening. My name is Jay Lee. I would like to share some very important information with everybody. My mentor once said to me that there's three types of people. The first person makes something happen. The second person is waiting on something to happen. And the third person doesn't know what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, America right now, you have 90% of the American population is going to retire broke. Why? Is because 90% of the American population today is only one paycheck away from bankruptcy or foreclosure. Proven point. I'm currently looking at the United States debt clock. The website is www.usdebtclock.org. And let me share with you what I'm seeing on this debt clock right now. This is the 24th day in the new year of 2011. Already, we have over 1 million foreclosures in this country. We have over 1,628,000 bankruptcies in the year of 2011. We have 45 million food stamp recipients in the year of 2011. This is just the 24th day. What do you think these numbers are going to look like in February, March? What is it going to look like in December? Do you expect it's going to be more in 2012? Why? Well, let me share with you why. I was a product of this, ladies and gentlemen. I have done everything that my mother and father asked me to do. I went to school. I got the grades. I graduated. I went to college. Got the grades. Went out and got a job. Let me explain to you. I am not against education. I love education and it's very important. But it is designed for you to work for someone else and give all your money to the wealthy who probably have less education than you. Here's the key. You can get all the degrees you want, over $250,000 worth of school loans. And at the end of the day, you get a job making $60,000, maybe $70,000 a year. How many people you know with this high education? But if you take a look at the percentage in America, only 3% in America is making six figures. 3% makes six figures in this country. How many of them do you know is probably, deeply in debt with education and other bills that they have to pay? Ladies and gentlemen, education is not the total blame, or the lack of the education that's in our school system is not the total blame for these numbers, these stats, this U.S. debt clock issue. A lot of it comes from fear. A lot of it comes from ignorance. Ignorance. Not just saying you don't know something, but you refuse to unlearn everything that you have learned that got you where you are today. And that's one thing that was shared with me by one of my mentors. He said, if you want to be the opposite of where you are, you have to unlearn everything that got you where you are. And ladies and gentlemen, if you want change in your life, if you want riches, if you want wealth, then you have to unlearn everything that got you to a mediocre bank account or a mediocre result to, from what you've been doing all up until this point. You have to be willing to change. Over $1 million worth of over 1 million foreclosures in America right now. The United States is showing $14 trillion of debt in the U.S. Debt Clock website. And this debt came about with the help of financial gurus in the United States government. Now, if you have financial gurus that put America in this kind of debt, what kind of debt are you putting yourself in, and you're not a guru in finances? Ladies and gentlemen, that's a very important question. You don't have to answer it to me. You have to just answer it to yourself and ask yourself, what are you going to do to make that difference? You have to be willing to make a difference. Vince Lombardi said, winning isn't everything, but wanting to win is. You have to want to win. You can't settle for mediocre. Don't settle. Don't do that. Pick up your head, pick up yourself, get out of bed in the morning, and go to work. The good book said, and I'm an amateur at the Bible, but what I do know is that it said, if a man don't work, he's not supposed to eat. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people is not eating in this country right now. And then you have a lot of people who are doing all the right things, but they're getting the wrong result. Why? It's because we've been faced to go through a system that is designed for us to stay mediocre. Mediocre. Don't settle for that. Be willing and be open-minded to expand your horizons. Let your parents push you out the nest, and you have to grow your wings on the way down. These are horrible numbers. I am totally upset, because a lot of this is people that you know. A lot of people that you know fall in these numbers, and it might be you. Somebody in your family is hurting right now. Somebody in your family is in the statistic of this number, of this U.S. debt clock. Bankruptcy, over 1 million. 45 million welfare recipients, new welfare recipients in the year of 2011, and here we are, the 24th day in the new year. What that tells me is the majority of the American population have not figured out the money game. Less percent of them, 10% of the American population, has figured out the money game. There's a difference between profits and wages. The person you work for making profits, and they paying you wages, and because of that, they getting huge tax breaks because of it. But you're paying the most taxes. The person you work for pays less taxes than you do. Think about it. Open your mind, ladies and gentlemen. The most expensive thing you can ever own is a closed mind. And if you don't open it, guess what? Everything is going to be the same. You're not going to grow. You're not going to grow your income. And generations behind you is going to suffer because you were too closed-minded. You didn't want to make a change for yourself and for your family. This is not about you. The change you make, you have to think that the change that you make today have to affect generations after you. So what are you going to do about it? You can find me on Twitter under JAYLEE202. Or you can look me up on Facebook, JAYLEE202 at gmail.com. I've even found a way to find you all through things that you love to do. You can find me on PlayStation 3, JAYLEE202. Because guess what? Everybody wants to have fun. Everybody want to focus on something that's not going to bring them much value. So I'm going to look for you on the PlayStation 3. So if you find JLee202 on PlayStation 3, request me as a friend. And I'm going to pull you off of it, and I'm going to put you into something different. I'm going to show you some books that's going to change your life. So ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. And I wish you well. And I'll see you over the top.